Good evening and welcome to PAXTON ROADTV PRTvSpurs Manchester United versus Tottenham Hotspur Football Club, the preview show. Kick-off 4:30 p.m. on Sunday, and joining me to go through the preview and, if they want to talk about the transfers, is the ones, the only, Spurs for life, and Mr. Sean Hurl, Tottenham Tifosi. Good evening, gentlemen. How are we? What a wonderful week it's been.
Yeah. Depends on what you want to class wonderful as. It's been bloody cold, so I wouldn't add that into the wonderful bit. But I'll add something else to the wonderful. I'm going to Jamaica in 2 weeks' time, so that's wonderful. As well as the Spurs news, yeah, all good. All good, Sid, only joking. Yeah, fabulous.
That's good. And yourself, Sean, how are you?
I'm going via Sky Sports to Africa to watch the AFCON when it starts tomorrow. Yes. Yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Yeah, but yeah, it's been a good week for Spurs. Early business conducted. Looks to strengthen and deepen the squad. Some pruning as well, and we've got a big game coming up on Sunday.
We have. And if you're joining us for the first time, for the 100th time, for the millionth time, for the 1000th time, please make sure you subscribe to PRTvSpurs and PAXTON Road TV, because we're always bringing you the content. And my contents are always changing. As you might have seen in the intro, I added the 2 new signings and Mr. Dragusin. Fight! Anyway, guys. So let's get this over and done with first and foremost, right? What you were saying.
That's going to run, isn't it? That is going to run for a little bit. I can see.
It is going to run for a little bit. I'm telling you now, because I can see a lot of Tottenham fans now going away stadiums or home stadiums, and when they see in front of a Spurs supporter or away supporter, they're just going to stand and go, "Fight! Let's go!" You know what I mean? I might even go and buy myself one of them judo things and just go to the stadium with it on, with a headband around it, Karate Kid style, and let's do it. But it's been a good week then. If depending on, like you said, Sam, January window, we seem to be doing some mad business. People say you can't buy good players. We've got Benton, Kulusevski in the 1 January window, and now we've gone Dragusin and Timo Werner. So there are bargains to be had in the window if you play it right. And the most important thing, we've gone and done it very early in the window. Are you surprised with all that?
Not surprised that we tried to do the business early, because that's what Andrew already said in terms of his centre back. What we do have to do, we have to obviously anticipate that the 2 signings are going to work out. We don't know yet. Obviously, all the fuss, all the kind of like feedback, it looks and appears that they're exactly what's required by the manager. So that's the good part. With the January transfer window, what you usually find is people talking up players that aren't necessarily viable. When I say that, people, I mean things like Mbappe to Arsenal or stuff like that. That's not going to happen. Do you know what I mean? So when you see things in the media, that's why I always say, you know what I mean? I believe half of what what's my saying? Half of what I see, nothing of what I hear, because of the fact that, you know, there's stories that have been kicked around. However, listening to Ange Postecoglou's interview today, they were planning it. You know, they got the plans in place in terms of knowing what they were going to do. Obviously, he said each window is going to be an opportunity to buy a player. Each window is going to be an opportunity to strengthen the squad. And they obviously knew when we had that game against Chelsea that it was going to be important to get that centre back, knowing AFCON and all the rest of it. So I'm happy that they've done the business. Fingers crossed, hands crossed, whatever you want, that they work out and they are, make a difference to the squad, which I would think they will do.
Yeah. And yourself, Sean, what did you make of this week then? Obviously, we've all been saying that let's get these transfers done. There's been a lot of to and fro in Willie. It's done. He's on his way. Talks are planned. This is done. That's done. It's coming. It's not coming. Whatever. Are you happy at this precise moment? Can't hear you.
Oh, he's on the mute business.
So I muted myself there. Obviously, I'm going to talk some rubbish now. But it's it's really good to see that we've got players. We've got Bennett, we've got Werner on a loan, which is a no risk loan as far as I'm concerned, because we don't even have an obligation to buy. It's an option to buy.
Yeah.
It will cover us for Solly's absence for the next 6 weeks or so. Dragoshin will come into the team as and when. I did like if you've seen the Postecoglou press conference, there was a Romanian journalist in there, and he was pushing him, and it was really good to see Postecoglou in really good form and kind of smiling and fielding his questions really well, quite cheekily as his one. I think we're in a stronger position. I was concerned when players were returning like Spence that they would hang around like a bad smell, as they say. But he's gone to Genoa, and good luck to him there. Eric Dyer is left, and I'm not going to lie, I had a little bit of a teary eye at his farewell message. Over the course of 9 years, I think there are far more positives than negatives. Obviously, his form declined, and eventually time was caught up with him, and the changes in the tactics. But he goes with my well wishes. And now, let's see. I mean, I get the impression that if opportunities come up, that there'll be new players come in as and when. So yeah, all positive. Whether the nature of the game that we faced on Sunday though doesn't. I've seen us too many times go there, and I'm confident today. But when we get to the game, we play the history, we play the club rather than the team in front of us. 100%. And that team in front of us is not a good Manchester United team. And we should be taking maximum points on Sunday. But in my heart of hearts, I have a horrible sinking feeling. Anyway,
we'll talk about that, because I'm like you a little bit in that sense. But in terms of the transfers and that, well, I think we'll do another one where we actually go through the whole what's happened, because we've got another 2 weeks left yet, and you never know. So, to the most important thing then, lads, it is Old Trafford time on Sunday, 4:30 p.m. kickoff, and 63 meetings between Tottenham Hotspur and the Manchesters of the Uniteds. You know what's coming, don't you, lads? 39 wins for Man United. Spurs have won 11 times. Manchester United have beaten us 24 times at Old Trafford. Tottenham Hotspur have won 4 times, 15 at our stadium, and we've beaten them 7 times. 13 draws. Sam, this is one of them stadiums, teams like Chelsea that we don't like going to at all.
Yeah, so I remember the game when they were properly under the cosh, Man United. They were like, everything was going wrong. Ronaldo was there. And what happened? He scored a hat-trick, didn't he? And won the game for them 3-2. I think it was 3-2 in the end. That's the sort of thing that we've got to like contend with, because on paper, in terms of the form, in terms of how we're playing, in terms of what's going on at both clubs, we're on the ascendancy. It's clear to see. Man United are not. I don't know if they know what they're doing. I don't know what's going on in terms of the whole aspects with this takeover, whether they're going to get any more investments, all that story, all of that. So they've got a lot of baggage, and we know what it's like to have a lot of baggage in your team. It affects the whole club. I'm just hoping that, as always, and always with this thing, that we get that goal first. And we should put another victory on top of that away victory to make it 5. Because there's no way that we can look at that Man United team and say that they will beat us in terms of playing football. However, we know that football doesn't work like that. And you guys are right. And I've got that feeling as it's not going to be as cut and dry. Like when they played Liverpool, everybody's like, they're going to get beat 7, they're going to get beat 8. And they went to Anfield and they got a draw.
Yeah.
How they set up is going to be important for them. But as I said, we should be beating them.
I agree with you in terms of current form and obviously the way the season's panned out and stuff. As we move forward as well, Sean, we will see yeah, it's not as black and white as we're all making it out to be. But we will see with that. Sean, anything to add on, obviously, the away form we have at Old Trafford? Because obviously, like Ferguson always used to say, it's only Tottenham boys. Is that now going to start changing under Postecoglou?
God, I mean, I look at that, 4 away wins. I can probably remember each game. There was the Mora game where he scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
There's a 6-1 drubbing.
Yeah.
There was it Clint Dempsey? Did he get a late winner in one game?
I'm not too sure. Too sure. We'll have a look at the.
I mean, it's like it's shocking what our record at Old Trafford is.
I know,
and we just seem to crumble, And sometimes an individual drags them over the line. It was, as Sam has alluded, it was Cristiano a couple of years ago. I think it was Fernandes another time.
Yeah.
But we should be. I mean, they look like a club that. The whole organisation.
Huh? So, Sean, look how many times more they've beaten us at our place than we have with them. That's the shocking bit for me. It's like twice as many games that they've won our place. And I remember some of them games.
Yeah.
I also been to that. Was it the 5-3 when we were 3-0 up at half?
3-0 up at half time. I was behind the goal. David Beckham started it all off with Andy Cole, and I was there behind that. Yep, I was there. So
I went to the Old Trafford one. I think we were winning. Was it 2-0 at half time again in that one? And we ended up losing that game. There's a couple of games which is just I just can't believe it. But that was the old Tottenham. Let us hope now that we've got a different breed of players that are going to be able to take the mentality side of things, because it is only mentality. You can't go to Old Trafford and thinking it's Old Trafford anymore, because we've seen at Bournemouth go there, smash and Brighton. So I'm not looking for a poor performance, but I am looking for a victory. It's got to be a win. Well,
looking at previous 5 then, 10th of October 2021, Manchester United 3, Spurs 0.
El Sacchio.
Yeah, 12th of March 2022, Manchester United 3, Spurs 2 at Old Trafford. 19th of October 2022, Manchester United 2, Tottenham 0 at Old Trafford. 27th of April 2023, it was a draw at a Hotspur Stadium. And obviously 19th of August 2023, Spurs won 2-0. So it's 3 wins, 1 draw, 1 win in the previous 5. And then if we're going to go further, this is at Old Trafford, 27th of August 2018. We beat them 3-0. Harry Kane scored and Mora twice, as Sean said. 4th of December 2019, Manchester United 2-1. Rashford scored twice. Dele scored for us. 4th of October 2020 was the 6-1 drubbing. 12th of March 2022, United beat us 3-2. Sam, Sean, this is the one where we went 2-0 and Cristiano done the deeds. And 19th of October 2022 at Old Trafford, we lost 2-0. And the manager's in charge again. There we go. We've had Pochettino, 2 Mourinho's, and Antonio Conte. So, lads, 3 wins, 3 losses, and 2 wins at Old Trafford in the last 5 meetings.
I'm looking at those games there. The Fred Fernandes 2-0 victory that they had recently in terms of Conte, probably a game we didn't deserve to win. But I'm looking at all them other ones. Obviously, the one that we did win, we won, and the one that 6-1. But 2-1, we should have won that game. The 3-2, that's the one.
That's the one.
95-year-old Ronaldo comes and does that to us. It's like unbelievable. Do you know what I mean? It's unbelievable when you see that sort of thing. So, again, it's not clear as saying, we should smash them because they are on their knees. They're so, what's the word for them? Unpredictable. I don't even know how they're going to set up. Are they going to try and put... Anyway, we'll go into the team aspect. But we should have won more games than that in the last 5.
Yeah. Sean?
Yeah, it's... it's just one of those things I just can't... I mean, particularly since post-Ferguson, we should be taking more points off of Manchester United. They've not been a good side. But, I mean, even when even when Van Gaal was there, they were beating us. You know, it was just, you know, and the number of times, as I say, I've gone to the game thinking, well, we're in a run of form. I'm sure that game where we lost 2-0 there, you know, under Conte, you know, it was prior to the World Cup. I think we were going quite well.
We was doing quite well, and I think we was the better team, Sean, as well at the time.
And we just fold, and you know, I just don't want it to happen on Sunday again because I'm getting sick and tired of that play. I've seen that show before, and I want to change. You know.
I know this is my worry as well, but we'll discuss that as we go. Right. So last 5, Spurs won 4-1 v Newcastle at home. Bournemouth beat Man United 3-0 at Old Trafford. We obviously, sorry, that should be away, 2-0 to Nottingham Forest. They drew 0-0, like you said, Sam, with Liverpool, which everybody was expecting Liverpool to absolutely trounce them, but they should have won the game in the end. We beat Everton 2-1 at home. They lost to West Ham 2-0. We lost to Brighton 4-2. They won 3-2 at Aston Villa. Again, a game they should have lost. Bournemouth, we beat 3-1. And they lost to Nottingham Forest 2-1. So we've got 4 wins, 1 loss. They've got a win, 3 losses, and a draw. So going into this game on Sunday, we should be favourites. Simple as. Because like you said, they're in disarray at the moment. They don't know what's going on, what's happening with players, managers. I mean, Jadon Sancho left yesterday, and apparently he said goodbye to everyone on his group, and only 2 Man United players responded back to him. So that club just at the moment seems to be all over the place. So should we be favourites then, guys? Sam?
No, I don't think. I personally don't think so, because we can't disrespect Man United as much as probably I am doing, because it is Man United and it is at their place. You know what I mean? So even though we should be favourites on paper, I think it's probably going to be quite close to the bookies. It might change, it might fluctuate, but I think at the moment we probably are. But I don't think it's like, you know, odds on 5-1 or anything like that we're going to be winning the game. It should be close. I just don't understand though with this Man United team. You know, that 3-0 loss against Bournemouth, they were terrible. They were terrible. But then everybody's expecting the Liverpool game. They actually were all right. You know what I mean? They rode their luck, but as you just said, Sid, they should have won that game. But then they go to West Ham. And it's like shocking, rubbish. And what they do at Villa, they're 2-0 down with that one. And they won it 3-2. So I don't know. This is the problem. We could go 2-0 up, and then they could do another madness. I'm hoping not, because I hope if we stick the knife into this lot, I don't think they're going to come back. But football is a funny old game.
Absolutely. Sean, favourites, or is it just one of them again where we go into these kind of games as favourites, but they show up, the other team always show up, and we sort of back down?
They're the real Anthony Perkins in Psycho team, aren't they? They really are. I mean, they are. Look, I mean, if you've got compare results, we beat Bournemouth. It was a struggle, but we beat Bournemouth 3-1. They lost 3-0, and they were lucky it was only 3. You know, we've beaten Forest quite comfortably. They lost to Forest, you know, and so, you know, going on current opposition with we should be doing, we should be favourites. But that Villa result, that Liverpool result, that's the performance of a potentially a big team, and that's just why this fixture turns me over like no other. Away, home or away against Man United, because they just seem to have, like Chelsea in the past, the evil eye over us. I make us still slight favourites. We're in a better consistency, but you know, we have to be honest. Some of our performances have not warranted some of the results that we got.
Yeah,
I'm thinking particularly Bournemouth and Everton. So it's tough. I will make a slight favourites, but
you know what, Sean? I agree. We might be slight favourites, but again, that might change depending on that team. If we team on Sunday, you know, obviously things are going to change. If our team does include some of our players that need to be coming back, like likes of Romero, the likes of Van der Ven, then I can see, yeah, we definitely should be favourites. But as we know, it's still a case of Andrew's playing it close to his chest. We don't know who's, well, saying we don't know who's fit. He said Van der Ven's fit. He said Romero is fit, but he weren't quite sure. We don't know what Dragashin's going to be doing in terms of, you know, being on the bench. He should be on the bench. He said he will be on the bench. He didn't say he was going to start. But our midfield is what I'm just a little bit concerned about in terms of, you know, what do we do in that midfield? Because
we'll talk about that.
Okay, sorry about that.
We'll do that. Yeah, we'll do that as we do the team. I know, because there's a few questions as well. So we'll. Sorry to cut you off there, but we'll talk about that. Yeah, we'll do that one. Right. So this is the bit I was telling you about. Right. Season so far, yeah. Everyone's thinking Man United, yeah, they've been drossed, right? But position 8, Tottenham are 5th. They've won 10. We've won 12. They've drawn 1. We've drawn 3. They've lost 9. We've lost 5. That's where they've lost a lot of games. Average goal scored per match, 1.1. Spurs have scored 2.1. Goals conceded, 1.35. We're conceding 1.45. So they're not really conceding any worse than we are, to be fair. Clean sheets. 6 clean sheets for Man United. 6. Spurs have kept 5. Chances created per match, 1.45. We're creating 2.35. Biggest win 3-0 for them, 5-2 for us. Our biggest defeat 4-1. And I've just turned, and theirs biggest defeat again was 3-0. But
can you go back to that page at all?
Looking at that, Sam, they've kept 6 clean sheets, yeah, and one of them at Liverpool. So
no, sorry. If you finish, let me. Those stats on the left are shocking stats for Man United, for a team in the top half of the table, to be conceding average more goals than you're scoring for a Manchester United team is terrible. Yes. The fact that they've got 6 clean sheets suggests to me they must have been bashed a few times in terms of results, which we know that they have, because you can't keep 6 clean sheets and have a 1.35 goals conceded per match. It's just, I just think they've had a few bashings here. And they don't score goals either. They don't score goals much. But as we know, we've had a little bit of an issue when I guess we play a team like Man United who have got good transition players. It could be interesting because I'm thinking it's going to be a higher score, but we'll get onto that. That's my thought. I think that they're left-hand side. We've got to be beating them, though. We've got to.
Yeah, but the thing is, right, like you said, they've lost 9 games, yeah?
I mean, that's a record.
I know it's a record.
I mean, going back to like the early 20th century, for them to have lost 9 league games?
Yeah.
By this time, I think we're going back to like 1910 or something like that.
Yeah.
Since Manchester United lost 9 league games at this stage of the season.
And they're still 8th. They're still 8th, though. That's the story and thing. They've lost 9 games. They're scoring 1.1 goal per game. Yet they're 8th, which is...
It's the draws, though. Like I said, if you think about it logically, you can play 2 games, you get 2 draws, that's 2 points. You can play 2 games, win 1, lose 1, it's 3 points. So Man United are that team. They don't draw any games because they either get battered or they somehow get a victory in there. The fact that their biggest win's only 3-0 and their biggest defeat's only 3-0, that tends to show me everything about them. We just need to get that first goal against this lot.
Yeah.
First goal, and I think we're done. It's not going to be a Villa situation. No way.
No. Sean? Anything to add to that?
No, just that. I mean, I think they've had a number of very narrow 1-0, possibly 2-0 victories, and a lot of games where, I mean, I think they really struggled against, like we did against Sheffield United, to get a victory against them. So, there's, but I mean, 9 defeats, which that's not good, and it's amazing that the manager's holding on to his place, but obviously there's changes afoot in the boardroom, and we'll see what happens. But I do believe the guy from Ineos will be at the game on Sunday, so he'll get a full view. of the state of play at the team. But I mean, if we were to beat them, you know, Ten Hag might well be on his jotters, as they say up here.
Yeah. I mean, in terms of team news, obviously he said Maddison's not yet ready to be training with the team. He said Van der Ven's back. Romero, like you said, he said he's back training, but he doesn't think he's ready yet. But again,
do you know though, isn't it funny, right? We buy a right-sided centre back, and suddenly Romero is rushing back to get back to the team. Do you know what? I love the psychology here of our man. He's done a brilliant job.
Yeah,
but he was rushing to come back anyway, wasn't he? Even before the Dragonstein deal was done.
Yeah,
I heard that Romero wanted to get back sooner rather than like they've had to kind of hold him back, which is good and bad, because obviously it's a good thing that he wants to play, but a bad thing because, you know, you tend to find that players you said they want to come back, they're ready, aren't quite ready. But they've got medical staff that hopefully will make the decision, as well as a manager, as well as a player.
Of course. I mean, after tomorrow, it's a week's break, isn't it? So maybe Manchester City is probably better, you know, if you're looking into the future. So, team news then. So
it's a 2-week break, actually, isn't it?
No, we got FA.
Oh shit! Yeah.
Sorry. FA Cup. Right. So, team-wise, then, this is what I think.
You're actually right.
It's still 2 weeks. It's still 2 weeks. We play Friday. Yeah, we play on the Friday 27th. I was like, since you trying to dirty, that was a dirty move, Sid.
Yeah.
we go into our winter break.
Yeah. 26.
Got 2 weeks.
Right. So obviously, in terms of team, Vicario for me starts as always, never a doubt. Pedro Porro starts again as always, never a doubt. Mr. You Are My Destiny, Udogi as Thingy. Now lads, this is the one, where Dyer's gone now. Good. Davis is injured. Not so good. Hopefully he comes back sooner rather than later, but he reckons about 4 to 5 weeks. So you go and spend 20 odd million pound on a player that you've been after for ages and ages. So I believe when your players are down and you're injured players and you've just got one coming back and one on the bench, then you have to go with Emerson Royal. But I think Dragusin will start because I believe everything's done and dusted. I believe the international clearance is done. Everything's ready. They went into the middle. They put the hand on and they said, fight! Ready! So I think I'm going with Royal purely because he's been there for the last couple of games. He's set at the moment in that position. But I've got a funny feeling Dragusin starts. I think Van der Ven is back tomorrow on Sunday and he starts in there. Any changes to that back five, lads? Sean?
Let Sean have his say. I've got my say.
Can't hear you, Sean. You're on mute. You're on mute.
Up here in case I cough everywhere. I like your chutzpah there, saying that Royale will be right centre back. No, I have to say I think he's going to go with. I think he might go with Romero.
Yeah.
I think he might go with Romero. I think the fact that Romero will be in his ear, he's part of the leadership team. I think he might go with Romero and have Dragusin on the bench. But yeah, I mean, other than that, I mean, I do worry about Pedro Porro. He has put in some minutes.
Yeah.
And I did feel his last couple of performances, he's looked a bit leggy. And we do need to think about rotation. And Andrew alluded to that in his press conference today. Said the thing that helped him with the injuries was being able to rotate. So, but yeah, I don't think he'll rotate tomorrow. Porro will play. Van der Ven will play. Vicario. I mean, you don't even have to think about that. He's on the team sheet. And Udogi will play. Yeah, I mean, there is a doubt. There is, that right centre back. bring the new boy in at Old Trafford.
Why not? You spent money on him, and he's not. It's not like he's not been playing. He has been playing.
But let's go back a year, and we played Porro at Filbert Street. No, not at Filbert Street. I mean the King Power Stadium. I'm showing my age there, and he was destroyed.
Yeah,
he was destroyed. So do you put in Dragoshin and get him destroyed? We'll see. We'll see.
Sam, is it too soon for Van der Ven then as well? What do you think?
So there's a few things in this because of the complications of players coming back. Oh, okay. Obviously, ideally, if both were fit, 100% fit in terms of being able to play, I think he's going to play Romero and Van der Ven. But I think both of them obviously coming back from injuries. Van der Ven's probably further ahead down the line in terms of being able to start. He was on the bench last week. I think he's definitely starts. Dragusin, I don't think would have trained until today. Possibly would have done something yesterday, but unlikely. Probably today would have been his first day of training. Going away from home to play Manchester United, as well as much as they're terrible, they have got transition players. I think you need to have a little bit of organisation. So I think it's either going to be Romero and Van der Ven or Roland Van der Ven. If it's Romero and Van der Ven, I kind of slightly disagree about the Porro. I actually think Porro's been getting better, even though he's played a lot of games, in my opinion. But you're right, he does need a rest. And then if Raul is on the bench, that's a prime thing to be able to take Porro off if you've started with Romero and Van der Ven, because you can bring Dragonson on if he's on the bench, if one of them two does break down, regardless if it's right or left. And I'm hoping that's not the case. But Porro does need support on that right-hand side in terms of being able to rotate. And the doggies the same thing. We've both got Sessegnon back and Raul now to be able to take that. So I'm hoping that, the deal, I want to see Romero and Van der Ven start, but I have a feeling it'll be Royal and Van der Ven.
Yeah, because my team was Romero and Van der Ven, but I then watched the press conference and he said, yes, he's going to be on the bench, but he still thinks it's a bit too soon for Romero. Now, whether it's mind games or not, I don't know, but
that's part of mind games, I think.
Yeah, I think it's mind. I think it's mind games. I think Romero and Van der Ven start tomorrow, because if, like you said, if Van der Ven, Romero's been pushing for the last week or so, I want to play Man United game, I want to be ready, then I think he will be, but we don't know.
If you think about it, Spurs, again, this is why I think that Postecoglou is well into these mind games. He said a similar thing about, who was it? And then we was all shocked. Bentancur. Well, Bentancur was prime example. Nobody even knew that he was available. Didn't see too many pictures of him training fully. And that's the same thing I've seen this week. I've seen that Timo Werner shot where Timo Werner's doing his train. I didn't see any Romero's in them shots. And the way that Ange now seems to have this relationship with everybody. He's got a relationship with Lang, obviously with Daniel Levy. He's got, the players. There was that thing where we were saying about this is a family thing. This is so important to hear these sort of things being said. Players want to play for him. So he can say, listen, Romero, you're not quite ready. Do this. And he'll listen to him. Yeah. I personally think that he's going to be Romero and Van der Ven. So,
yeah, I think so as well. I think it'd be a nice game for them both to come back into, because Man United, they haven't got that many striking options, to be fair. And I think I can't see them really giving Van der Ven and Romero any problems. But
not if it's Højlund. If it's Højlund up top, no. If it's Rashford in the centre, it might be slightly different. Rashford doesn't play that great in the centre, but his pace is what's going to cause a bit more problem, obviously, for the hamstrings of these players.
Problem we've got is...
Well, can I say, going on Bentancur, maybe we should be on Instagram tonight to see whether Romero's wife has posted something on her Instagram.
Out of the bag.
Her name's Karen, I believe. I think her surname's Cavalieri. But anyway, she's... it might be worth checking with her to see whether her boy's playing on Sunday or not.
I think Romero will post it himself, to be fair. I don't think his missus will. I think Romero will just do it himself, you know what I mean?
You know what? I think the manager, because they've got this relationship, I think he'll say, listen, no, we're not going to say anything. Because I think he wants, what's his name? 10 bags to be guessing. He don't want 10 bags to know what's happening.
No.
So he's going to, because there's not a surprise that Man United can pull on us. There's no player that Man United can say, oh, he's playing, and we're going to go, oh, you know what? None of them. Not one. But we've got plenty. We've got Maddison who could be coming back. You know what I mean? We never know. Both our central defenders, #1 central defensive partnership. I think if we can keep them 2 fit, I think they'll be #1 central defensive partnership for a long time. And I'm talking about at the top of the league. You know, Manchester City, yes, you can say Liverpool, but when you look at these two individually, I think we've got some great players.
Midfield is a bit of an issue now for us because obviously Maddison's out. Saw's gone, Bissouma's gone, Lo Celso's he's only out for 1 match. Postecoglou said he's only 1 game, which is Man United game. He should be fine. He's reassured us.
I don't know about that from
exactly. I'm not sure about that either, Sean.
Yeah.
From what he said today was that we're not sure about Lo Celso.
Right. Okay.
We're going to have to send him for further tests. So I think he may actually be away for a couple of weeks yet.
Okay.
To be fair, in his defence, he got absolutely kicked left, right, and centre in that game against Burnley. I thought it was shocking what was served out to him. So I'm not taking it that he was absolutely kicked from pillar to post from the off as well. I don't think he's some in our fan base seem to think he's like built of glass, but no, he took a hell of a kicking.
Right.
As did Maddison. Maddison was kicked out of the game by Chelsea that night. So
100%. So I don't know. This is what I think, but people in the comment sections, you can agree to disagree. Sam, Sean, disagree to agree. I've gone with obviously Bentancur. I've gone with Skip, and I've gone with Kulusevski because I don't, unless he brings Højbjerg in the Bentancur role and puts Bentancur further forward. I don't know, but I think this is what he goes with. Sam, Sean, what are you saying?
I'm a big fan of Skip, but I don't see Skip as a number 8. He's third. He's third in line for the number 6. We are kind of light, aren't we, with the 2 African boys away, and Lo Celso definitely not available. I would play Kulu in the 10, definitely.
Yeah.
But who do we play? Yeah, that's a tough one. That's a tough one for me. For me, it's a tough one. Yeah.
I might think in terms of the shape it shows there, where you've got Bentancur obviously in the 6, and then you've got the 2 8s. I'm feeling that they're probably going to rebalance that slightly because it's away from home, and I can see Skip playing this and being possibly more alongside Bentancur. Kulusevski playing more
like a double pivot, Sam. Yeah,
like a double pivot. And the reason I'm saying that is because you're away from home, because it is Man United, and because I think you'll get more out of Skip if he's in that position.
Yeah,
you could put Bentancur forward, but I think what I've seen from Bentancur so far this season, he just looks like a majestic Rolls Royce that can just pick the ball up in that position and do what he wants almost. And I would like to see him kind of in that position because it's less combative for one, and I think we can probably dictate the game more with him in that position rather than Skip alone. But if Skip and him are together, as you said, that double pivot, it could work because Bentancur could then get a little bit more further forward to support Kulusevski as well.
In terms of the front 3 then, and we won't talk about, because I think Sam wants to go in 10, but Sean, we won't talk in depth about it, but obviously we know that this man cannot play on the left, so obvious choice for me is Johnson to be back on the right. And I am giving a debut to Mr. Werner on the left and Richie up top. Any disputes to that one? Sam, Sean?
I can't see anything wrong with that one. No.
Yeah.
Potentially from a man management point of view, he may start Gil because Gil hasn't gone out on loan or anything yet, has he?
Nah. I would not.
Just from a cohesion, to keep everybody motivated, to keep players basically happy as well. I'm not saying that. Right, okay. Werner would be a better option because he's obviously quicker and he's got more pace. We know that. However, we could have Werner come in and he might be a stinkfest. He might get injured. We are going to need to rely on Gil. And if I was the player in Gil, he's not come on and he's made the effort. He's really trying his best. He's just not physical enough. But you could start him and bring Werner on. Personally, if you start Werner, I don't think you've got a better attacking option to bring off the bench. He's more dangerous because of his pace until he actually gets himself cemented in this team. So, but he's only here for 6 months, so you may as well just dash him in. I don't know. I really don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I think I personally don't think he starts with Gil. I think Werner Sunday could be a great, way to make your debut against Man United because they're not the best. They're not the best, right?
I'd lean towards Werner starting more so, but yeah, I'm just thinking of the whole thing and the way Postecoglou talks about the unit. He makes sure everybody's part of it, and he said that clearly. He said there was a line he said when one of the reporters asked him, blah blah blah, you got a few players in there. Do you think it's your team? And he basically said it's been my team since I've been here, which is fucking awesome when you hear that sort of thing. Which means everybody's part of it. Even when Dyer wasn't playing, he was still part of it. That's why I'm thinking about the Gil thing. Potentially, he might just say, you know what, Gil, do your thing. You've got competition here from Timo Werner. He's on your ass. Tell me and show me what you can do. And if you don't, you know what happens. And that's fair football. That's fair management in football.
Yeah, I agree with you, but I just, even against Burnley, to be fair, what I saw of him, I don't think he's got a future at Spurs, to be fair, but we'll see what happens. How about Gil for Skip?
No, I think Skip's going to be really busy defensively tomorrow. For example, he's going to have to cover the amount of ground that Porro concedes behind him. That's one thing about Sarr. And Sarr's playing, I don't worry about the ground behind Porro because Sarr will cover for him. But I don't think Skip has quite got that. Although he has got potentially, he is a good middle distance runner, so he should be able to cover the ground. But I hope that they've been working on that during, when they're doing their defensive drills, because I think
so. That's why I think the double pivot might be the thing, because you can cover both sides. Then Bentancur could get out to the side on Porro and vice versa, and then they have to I think we'll keep more of the ball, so we'll only be caught on transition. Hence the reason why that's the way I can see Man United trying to play the game. They'll defend deep, even at home. And we just got to break them down. Get that first goal.
And as David Clark is saying, Sam, the one thing that Ange doesn't have, like Spurs fans in abundance, is that sentiment.
Why do I feel this is aimed at me, David?
No, but it's not in Werner over Gil. I mean, obviously, I think we're talking about Gil here, not but I agree with you, David. I think we now got a manager now who's going to pick the best team for the best positions for the teams that we're playing against, and he's always.
Can I just say something about the Werner thing? I understand, and he is the better player, but again, if he starts and doesn't perform up to the point, and he's going to be substituted, Gil isn't a better player to bring on. If you did it the other way round, I think as the game wears on, the pace becomes even more important depending on what the score is in the game. So there's options. I just don't know which way he's going to go, but you're probably right. Werner more likely.
So then that brings me to the score prediction, and somebody who posted it, was it David Clark? And was it David Clark that said it? I know. Let's have a look. Right. Okay. So I'll start with you, Sean. Then what you're saying about tomorrow's game?
I'm not saying anything about tomorrow's game because we're playing on Sunday.
I'm just playing a bit of time. I said that so I can buy a bit of time. But Sunday at 4:30.
Well, that's maybe the AFCON game between the Ivory Coast and Guinea as well. I don't know. I think the Ivory Coast will win that.
Right.
Because they're the home team.
Jews not to say.
I feel. I'm with Jews. I'm in the Jews camp. Yeah, I think it could be 2-1 to us.
You're saying
I see a Werner debut goal.
Okay, that's fine. Off the bench, you're starting.
Starting.
Mr.
He has no sentiment, as David says.
Yep. Sam, what are you saying?
It's either going to be a tight game or we're going to smash them. 2-1 Spurs.
You're going 2-1 as well?
Yeah.
Okay. David Clark is saying 3-1 to Man United with a Werner hat-trick, LOL.
3-1 to Spurs?
Yeah.
If he was to score a hat-trick tomorrow, that option's going to be bought, will be taken up before the end of the season.
Yeah, you know that, don't you? Yeah, right. Tricky saying 2-1 to Spurs. Michael Bennett is saying 3-1 to the Mighty Army. I think Man United are there for the taking, right? But then we've said that many times with many teams, and look what's happened to
famous last words.
That's the thing.
Remember El Sakiko. That's what I'm saying.
That's what I'm saying.
El Sakiko.
So on that bearing, I think I'm going to have to agree with what Michael Bennett is saying, and I think Spurs to win 3-1, because a lot of teams have gone to Old Trafford and they've caused them damage, and some of these teams are not on the same level as Spurs. So I think Sunday, we go there, and I think we beat them 3-1, and I think it'll be convincing victory as well. I don't think Postecoglou will obviously done all his homework, and he'll have to tell them that, listen, I don't want none of this crap that you lot have been doing there, winning and then getting beat. We're going there and we're going to win this game. And all I'm going to say is there's going to be Werner on the dance floor. We've got to get started used to that. Yeah. And whether we see drag you, sin, drag you, sin, drag you, sin.
Are you making these up, Sid? By the way, that song.
No, Werner on the dance floor.
I've seen the Werner one, but I've not heard that drag a sin.
No, right. So my boy.
No, Drag You Sin. There's one to Rasputin, the Boney M song.
But this one, my boy is going. He's gone to Manchester.
Yeah.
He's going to the game, but obviously can never ever get tickets for the away end, so he's going to be sat in the Man United end.
Oh.
I done that. That's not funny. It's no fun.
It's not. But
it's no fun.
It's the only way he could get tickets, because he knows his mates have got tickets, so they've got in. So he's going and he's gone. So he said to me before we went yesterday, he said to me, Dad, the Werner on the dance floor. And I went, yeah. And he goes, what about this one? And then I went, what? He went, drag you, sin, drag you, sin, drag you, sin. And I'm like, please, I'm already sick of Baby Shark. Don't start doing that. But he goes, it makes sense though, doesn't it? And I'm like, oh my God. So I thought I had to say it. Whether it works or not, I don't know, but
it does work.
Thank God I'm 62 years old and I don't know anything about Baby Shark.
I know.
I'm just about up with Taylor Swift, for God's sake.
Yeah.
You know?
But
as Sean said, it might be pronounced Dragushin.
No, it's not. It's Dragusin.
Okay, fair enough. I'm going whatever you tell me.
The reason I say that is because when they interviewed a couple of people, one being from Germany and that, I was paying attention to it closely, and everyone has been saying drag you sin. So
we were calling Destiny Udoji for a long time until he said his name was Udogi. So I don't know.
Yeah. But we'll find out. I'm sure he'll come up on Instagram or somewhere and say, listen, guys, this is how you say my name. And I think he's gonna say, what is it called? Fight!
Did you see the graphic that Spurs official put out with him?
Wicked. Did you not see it in my intro? It was in there.
Brilliant. Really good.
Absolutely brilliant. Right. So, guys, thank you very much for joining us. Thank you. Look, Jews Nuts is saying here. Listen, last week I did say, were they going to was it going to be a drag you in to the club, or was it going to be drag you sin by Daniel Levy and Co? I've got to say it was drag you in, and he's dragged him into the club. So we've got our man. Whether it is going to be drag you sin. Anyway, right. Sam, Sean.
And he might be on the bench.
But that's all right.
Comes on and scores a header from a corner. I'll be more than happy.
Can you imagine? And then does what's his name? Ibrahimovic, scissor kick, flying kick, or whatever you want to do. Yeah. You know what I mean? Or run. Listen, if he scores a goal, I'm telling you now, I will be at the bottom of any end of the goal, and I will be holding a concrete slab. Just come and slap it in half with a kick or with your hand. I don't care. But guys,
he'd probably headbutt it.
And we're doing a review on Monday, aren't we? Doing a review.
Thank you very much for that.
Review Monday. Cool.
Monday evening. Well, Monday will be the reaction show because now we want to sort of chill, relax, take it all in, and then talk about it on Monday. Everybody in the comment section, please. Thank you very much for all your contributions. If you haven't already subscribed to the channels, PRTvSpurs, PAXTON Road TV, smash it, karate chop it, however you want to do it, and make sure you follow us and subscribe to the channels. Sam, Sean, thank you very much. Everybody, thank you very much. And all I can say is I will leave you with drag you, sin, 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 drag you, sin, 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 sin,
I'm not sure I can take that. I don't think I can take that.
Have a great evening.
I'm going with the Boney M sort of thing.
Yeah, I'll go with the Boney M one. I'm not talking about the drag you, sin, sin.
Have a great evening. Enjoy. And if you're out tonight, make sure it's not Werner on the dance floor.
I'm going. See
you later, everyone. Take care. Have a great evening. Come on, you Spurs.
Guys.